Since the past many days, we have been reading about the ongoing feud between Mahua Moitra and Nishikant Dubey. This is the cash for query scam. The cash for query scam is not very important from the perspective of your written examination, but of course, if you have to understand the larger concepts of breach of privilege or committee on ethics, committee on privileges, we have to understand this issue as well. So not political, but from the perspective of UPSC, we are going to go through. Also, do not worry about making notes because these are provided through my Telegram channel, Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. What is the issue? Let's talk about that. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey has made allegations against Mahua Moitra, saying that she has been receiving cash and lavish gifts from Darshan Hiranandani in order to raise questions about the Adani group in the parliament. And for this, she can be suspended for breach of privilege, contempt of the House, and criminal offence under Section 120A of the IPC. What is breach of privilege? Parliamentary privileges are specified in Article 105 and Article 194 of the Indian Constitution. So, every parliamentarian and the parliament as an institution have certain rights and immunities. If I want to exercise my rights freely in the parliament, ask any question I want to without any worry that I may be taken to some court for saying the things I have been saying, I have to get certain immunity. And that is why to preserve this, immunity is given in the form of parliamentary privilege. That is one privilege. Another privilege is to represent so many people. If Mahua Moitra, in the current case, as alleged, is representing only one person, she is breaching the privilege of the house because she has to represent the entire group of representatives that have elected her. But now she has chosen to only represent one person. So, in this particular matter, this is a breach of privilege of being a parliamentarian. Your voices are heard, and your voices are, of course, heard in a very strong manner. That is the context of the current case. But of course, her ex-partner is also involved in this entire situation. She is saying that her ex-partner has went to Nishikant Dubey, Dehadrai, his name is Jay Anant Dehadrai. He went to Nishikant Dubey in order to get these kind of allegations against her, but we do not know about it. Also, we do not care about it enough. So, a member of the House, with the consent of the Speaker of the House, can raise this question of breach of privilege. And the Council, when it is accepted by the Speaker that yes, we can accept this motion that you have brought, then the Council can either consider the question and come to a decision, or they can refer this issue to the Committee of Privileges, which is a 10-member panel in Rajya Sabha and 15-member panel in the Lok Sabha. You have to remember this also. And if this has been proved that yes, breach of privilege has occurred, the punishment is given by the House itself. So they can do it either through imprisonment or by admonition or warning or reprimand as well. Moving on. And Mahua Moitra's lawyer has recently recused from defamation case after Delhi High Court rap on Dehadrai coercion bid. There is a lot of personal vendetta that is going on. Right now, we are not going to delve into that because it's not important. Also, when Mahua Moitra saw that these many allegations are being made, so she has said that it is trying to defame her. So she, in retaliation to the allegations, she went on with the defamation case. Now, ethics committee, which is recently committee on ethics, which is recently looking at the matter, that is also important from the perspective of our examination. So, committee on ethics, the speaker appoints members of the committee for 1 year. Right now, it is headed by BJP's Vinod Kumar Sonkar. Other people from other parties are also there, but heftily it consists of BJP members. In 2005 also, 11 MPs were expelled because of cash for query scam. 10 from the Lok Sabha were there and 1 from the Rajya Sabha. But this was on the basis of PK Bansal committee, which was, a Congress committee. So back then, the people who were expelled, the parliamentarians who were expelled, they called for better understanding of the situation to transfer the case to Committee of Privileges so that the parliamentarians can defend themselves. Now, if I talk about the ethics committee, the genesis of it, a presiding officers conference took place in 1996 in Delhi. So the vice president, the then vice president, and Rajya Sabha chairperson K.R. Narayanan constituted the upper house's ethics committee on March 4th, 1997, became operational 2 months later. to look after the moral and ethical conduct of members and examine cases of misconduct which are referred to it. The rules applicable to the Committee on Privileges also apply to the ethics panel. Remember that, because this could be asked in your prelims examination. This is just for Rajya Sabha that was there. Then, if I talk about the Lok Sabha Ethics Committee, that had a whole different story. A study group of the Committee of Privileges of Lok Sabha visited Australia, USA, and UK in 1997 to understand if any person is doing misconduct, what are these countries doing with them for Lok Sabha. The Committee on Privileges finally recommended the constitution of an ethics committee during the 13th Lok Sabha. Because before that, whenever this study was being tabled before the parliament, Lok Sabha got dissolved. That is why finally it came into existence, as in this particular acknowledgement came into being at the 13th Lok Sabha. Then late Speaker G.M.C. Balayogi constituted an ad hoc ethics committee in 2000, and a permanent part it became only in the year 2015, quite later. Moving on, who can complain to the ethics committee? See, any person can complain against a member through another Lok Sabha MP. Okay, along with all evidence of misconduct, affidavit stating that the complaint is not false, frivolous, or vexatious. And a member can complain against another member with evidence without any need for an accompanying affidavit. That can also happen. The committee doesn't entertain complaints based on media reports or if the matter is under the jurisdiction of some court. The speaker can refer to the committee any complaint against an MP, and the committee makes a prima facie inquiry before deciding to examine a complaint, and then the evaluation of the complaint makes it, after the evaluation of the complaints, it makes its recommendation. The committee report then is presented to the speaker. He or she asks the house if the report should be taken up for consideration, and a half-hour discussion then is taken on the report. And a corruption, generally what we see that the work between ethics committee and the committee on privileges, these overlap. Sometimes their work overlaps, but there is a difference. We'll tell you that as well. A corruption allegation against an MP can be sent to either body, ethics or privileges. Both the committees are okay with it, as it involves an accusation of serious breach of privilege and contempt of the house. And if I talk about the committee on privileges, it can decide on this matter for a member of the house if they are doing a breach of privilege, or for any other member of the house, not any other member, but for any other person who may not be a member of the house, but still they have breached the privilege of the house. But for ethics, it can be only done for the member of the parliament and not some other person. Okay, remember this is the difference. In the case of the ethics committee, however, only an MP can be examined for misconduct. But in case of privileges, it could be either member of the parliament or some other person who is breaching the privilege of the house through their misconduct. Okay, so I hope you understood this entire matter in brief, and it is important to understand these terms from the perspective of answer writing as well as your prelims. And thank you so much for watching. Stay updated.